Hey, welcome to our YouTube channel. In this video, it's a little bit of a longer video because I wanted to show you guys how to just go through in one sit down and set up all the domains for your ClickHubs account, or if you have your own HighLevel account, it's the same thing. This is going to show you how to do that in your own HighLevel account. And so I have other videos where I give you an intro of what all the different domains are for. We've got different domains like email domains. And even within email domains, you can set up multiple domains. We've got domains for websites and funnels. You've got a branded domain. You've got domains for your client portal. And so in this video, we're just going to go through step by step and set up all the domains. So you can do in 20 or 30 minutes, go through and have your entire account set up with all of your domains. And then you can just get down to business after that. So let's jump into it. I'll see you on the other side. Before we do, if you're not already subscribed to our channel, make sure to click that subscribe button. Like this video, leave your questions or comments below. We'll be happy to help out, and I will see you on the other side. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the domains you need for a new account. And there's a lot of different domains that we are going to be setting up. Anywhere from, if we head into settings and we look at our business profile settings, we have our branded domain. So this is the domain you set up if you're sharing links and calendars and things like that directly. You want to brand that with your own domain instead of using the ClickHubs domain. So just keep it under your branding. We're going to also head into email services, and we're going to set up our own dedicated email domains to help make sure that our emails make it to the inbox. Right now, we're using a domain that's shared by default amongst everybody that's using HighLevel, and so there's a very high chance your emails are going to make it to spam without doing this. And we're also going to set up our main domains for our websites and funnels. We're going to show you how to do that here. And then we're going to also set up inside of our memberships, we're going to set up our communities, our portal, and our courses subdomain as well. So let's just jump into it. We'll show you how to do everything. And a disclaimer here, we recommend that you are hosting your DNS records inside of Cloudflare. It's free to host them inside of Cloudflare, so you create a free Cloudflare account. We've got plenty of help doc videos showing you how to transfer your domain DNS records over here if you don't already have Cloudflare. So I'm not going to cover that in this video, but everything that we're doing here is based on having our records inside of Cloudflare, so just keep that in mind. So, and part of the reason is because we have a direct API integration with Cloudflare, and it allows ClickHubs to directly add the records into Cloudflare without you having to copy and paste a bunch of records. Less work and less chance for mistakes. So let's just jump straight into it. And we're going to start first of all with our branded domain here. And so our domain is ballisticdrumming.com, but we want to set up a branded domain. I'm just going to call it connect.ballisticdrumming.com. And we just want to make sure we don't have any CNAME records here. And looking at the records here, every account's going to be different. You may have certain records in here previously. You might not have anything. This one, it's very important to realize that you also don't want to delete records if you're not sure what you're deleting, because you could break things. For example, these MX records and these text records are for email, which is currently working. And so I don't want to touch these records because I don't want to break the email, but we don't have any domains set up for any website type of thing. And that's what we're going to be adding. So let's just jump in here, and we're going to say for our branded domain, it's going to be connect.ballisticdrumming.com. We'll add the domain, and we could add a record manually if you want to see what records are going to be added, but we're just going to continue, and we're going to allow ClickHubs to do its thing, and it's just connecting with Cloudflare. Now we need to authorize the domain. It tells us what we're going to be adding here. You can see I have an error here. A lot of times you can disregard that. Sometimes there's permission issues and things like that, so we'll have to see if it allows us to update. And it says it takes 30 seconds here. If changes aren't acknowledged, please retry. So let's just head over here, and we're going to refresh this and see if they've been added. So you can see we've got our CNAME record here, connect, and the content is brand ludicrous cloud, which is correct. So we are good here, and we now have our branded domain. Okay, and just to show you where you would use this branded domain, let's head over into sites and forms. We're going to go to the form builder, and you can see we've got a form here. So if I want to preview the form, let's say, for example, I want to send somebody this form directly. I don't want to put it into a website. I just want to send them the form, which, you know, sometimes you have forms where you want to take payment or you just want to collect information. Now you can see it says connect.ballisticdrumming.com. So this is kind of the generic link that's going to be used for these type of things. If you're sending out payment links to people, or if you're sending out a calendar link directly, it's going to use this, which still has your branding, whereas previously it says link.clickhubs.io. So this way it allows you to just keep it with your own branding. So that's what that one does. Next up, we're going to head over to emails, and we're going to create our own dedicated domain. If you don't see this box, you can also come in here and click this dedicated domain and IP. We're going to add a domain. And so the domain, what this does is it allows ClickHubs to send emails on behalf of your domain. You can't use your domain here because it's already being used for different things. But what we can do is we're going to create I'm just going to call it LC, which stands for our lead connector. So I'm going to call it lc.ballisticdrumming.com. So this is going to create a subdomain that's going to work on behalf of ballisticdrumming.com. And so when we send emails from ClickHubs, they're going to be coming from @lcballisticdrumming.com instead of @ballisticdrumming.com. It will work the same. It's very seamless, but it allows this to integrate with your email sending without disrupting your existing email services. So we'll just click add and verify. And again, just as previously, we're just going to click continue. Going to wait for this to connect to Cloudflare, and then we're going to authorize. This again shows you all the records we're adding here. So we're going to just authorize that. And there's one other record which is optional, but I recommend adding that. And that's this DMARC LC. So let's just copy that really quickly. Go back to Cloudflare. First of all, I'm going to refresh the page. And you can see all of our records are added here. So remember I was saying we don't want to touch the existing MX records. These are for ballisticdrumming.com. And we have MX records here. But because we're using our subdomain LC, these are separate and they don't impact the existing MX records, which is why we have to use a subdomain in order to get it to work. So hopefully that makes sense, but if not, you can reach out to us and we can clarify that. One thing we want to do now is, first of all, we're going to add these new records. So I'm going to add, if you look here, it's a text record. So we're going to add a text record here. Scroll down to the bottom. This is what we copied from inside of ClickHubs, and then we're also going to copy this second part here. So let's copy that. And then we'll add that in the content. And I'm just going to add a comment here that this is ClickHubs email. And we'll save that. The reason I add the comment is if you have a lot of records here, you can just hover over this and see what it's for. That way you're not deleting the wrong records, or you don't have to click into every time to see that. And I'm actually going to add that to all of the records that we added here really quickly. So this is going to be ClickHubs branded domain. So we know what that's for. And then these ones are going to be ClickHubs email. I'll just copy and paste that. So it just takes a minute to do this, but I definitely recommend doing it. It's really easy to start mixing up your records here and accidentally delete something that you didn't want to delete. And again, if you do that, it's going to break things. Things are not going to work. Your emails maybe not going to be getting sent as expected. And then we've got this one here. Comment. So let's see, I believe that's it. Oh, we got one more here. Okay, so these were the default domains. We're not going to touch these, but all the ones we added, we have a comment here. And so now we've added this extra DMARC record. I'm going to do one more thing, which is not covered here. We also want to have a DMARC record on our root domain. This is very important for deliverability. And I'm not going to get into exactly what this means in this video, but it is very important for deliverability. And this is the safest record to add initially, P equals none. That means if there is an issue, it's still going to let the emails come through, but you can monitor that. And I would start here with a new domain, and then you can change this later to get a little more aggressive. Again, the purpose of this is not to cover what the DMARC record is for, but you do want to have that on your root domain. So I'm going to add that here. And this is just going to be DMARC without the subdomain. And so this is just root for the root domain. So I'm not going to add a comment because this is not a ClickHubs thing. This is just a email deliverability thing. So you can see the DMARC we have here is for our LC subdomain, but this one is for the root. And since he didn't have one, I added one here because it's very important. So going back to ClickHubs, we can see these all say not verified. We're going to need to verify these. And you can see now they're all verified, but it's not allowing me to verify this here. So let's go back to dedicated domains. And now you can see that it's been added, but it's still not showing verify. So let's try to verify one more time. And now we can verify here. We've got our SSL issued. We're good to go. This default headers, we want to add a default name and email. So I'm going to go really quick to business profile, and I'm going to grab the email here, and then Ballistic Drumming is going to be the name. So let's go back into our email domains and then click the dedicated domain. I'm going to click the three dots, and then we're going to say set headers. So what this does is it's going to make sure that the emails are always showing as coming from ballisticdrumming.com, from teacher@ballisticdrumming.com. And that way somebody can't come in here and type, they're going to send it from a Gmail or something like that, which is going to cause issues and they're going to go to spam. So we're going to call this Ballistic Drumming, and then I'm going to save that. You have some other options here as well. We've already verified the domain. You can delete it if you want to get rid of this. Assign IPs, that's only for really high volume senders. So most of you are not going to be using this, but you can purchase a dedicated IP if you're sending about 100,000 emails a month. Set headers, that's what we just did. Domain settings, this is where you can turn on your click tracking. If for privacy and settings you don't want to have click tracking or open tracking, you can disable that here, but it is on by default. And that's really it. And then in domain configuration, we can just come in here and we're going to select this email. So what this lets you do is if you want to get a little more advanced, you can set up different subdomains for different parts of the platform. So for example, if you wanted to use one subdomain for workflows, one for one-on-one conversations, one for campaigns, and another one for bulk emails, you could set those up, and you could also distribute the risk amongst those domains. So if someone starts flagging them as spam and that domain starts not delivering emails, you still have other ones here they're going to fall back to. And so that is a little bit more advanced. We're not going to worry about that. But as it's set up now, we are set to go. It's ready to send emails on behalf of ballisticdrumming.com. And it's just going to say via lcballisticdrumming.com. So ClickHubs can now send and receive emails through the platform. And in another video, we'll show you how you can sync this to your Google or your Outlook or your Apple. And then those emails that are sent from here will also show up inside of your regular inbox client. So that's it for the emails. Next, we're going to do one more here. Domains. We're going to set up our main domain, and this is going to be set up with a domain that's exclusively used here. So if you had a domain that was being used on another website and you wanted to keep that domain on that other website, let's say you had a WordPress website that was ballisticdrumming.com. In this case, we would use a subdomain here, which might be sites.ballisticdrumming.com, which would allow us to not impact our main WordPress website, but we can still have a subdomain here that we can use for our funnels and things like that. So in this example, we're going to be using this domain exclusively for the ClickHubs websites and funnels, so we don't need subdomains or anything like that. So I'm going to show you how to do that here. Okay, so we're going to come back to Cloudflare. I'm going to copy our domain again here, ballisticdrumming.com, and we're going to use it without www. So you can have www or non-www, both will work, but it's best practices to choose one and make sure all of your traffic goes to that. So we're going to have https ballisticdrumming.com, and if somebody types in www, it's going to redirect it to the non-www version. So you see what we mean here in just a moment. I'm going to click add domain. I'm going to just enter the domain here, and I do want to say I also want to add the www version, but what's going to happen is it's going to automatically add a redirect rule that's going to take this www off and always send people directly to ballisticdrumming.com. So we'll show you that once it's set up so you have a better understanding of that. And again, it's automatically adding the records into Cloudflare. We're going to authorize the domain, and let's just continue. Could take up to 30 seconds here. So I'm going to come back into Cloudflare. We're just going to take a look here if it's been added yet. So you can see they've been added here. So I'm going to just come in here and say ClickHubs main domain. Copy that. And I'm also going to add that for the www version. So you got all our comments here. And again, everything is commented that's ClickHubs related. All the other ones are just the default. And so there was a problem with that action. It couldn't find the record. So let's just click try again. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for these to work through the system. Typically it's very fast, but technically it can take up to 48 hours. So if it doesn't happen right away, you may just have to keep trying. With Cloudflare, it's pretty fast pushing changes through the system. And so typically it's just a matter of a couple minutes before things happen to work out. So now you can see that it has been added. Now we have the option of linking it with a funnel. So I'm going to just select main website here, and then this can always be changed later. But what this does is when someone goes to ballisticdrumming.com, we're just deciding which page it's going to take them to, and then which step of the funnel. So we could send them to any of these pages, but of course we want to send them to the home page. And then additional options is if we have a 404 page here. This is if somebody types in the wrong domain. This is where I would take them. We don't currently have a 404 page, although if you're a new member, you'll have one of these loaded into your account by default. So we'll leave that blank for now, but I do recommend coming back and adjusting that. And then we're going to link the domain. And so if you wanted to come back and add the 404 page later, which I do recommend doing, you can just come in here. And again, we're using the ballisticdrumming.com. So you can click edit, and then you can come in here and set your 404 page. So what that does is if somebody types in an incorrect URL, it shows a 404 error page saying you've reached this page by mistake, but it allows you to have a custom message on there to redirect them somewhere, which has a better chance of saving them as opposed to them just leaving completely. So, and then you can see here we do have the www, but it has an I here that says this domain is redirected to ballisticdrumming.com. So remember, we don't want to have both of these working with www and without. So we're redirecting the www to the non-www version. And you can see it took a little time to switch over, but the first couple times you'll see this. You may have to clear your browser or things like that. But you can see now if I type in www, you can see it redirects to the version without the www. So that's best for SEO and best practices. You don't want both of these versions showing up in the search engines because they're the same pages. And so we are good to go now with our domain. Everything's working as expected. And then just to show you on this redirect really quick, if you go down here to URL redirects, you can actually see the redirect. So what this says is the www, we're going to redirect, and everything after that is going to also match. So everything matches 100%, and it just moves the www to the non-www version. So that's that for the domains. And so it's super simple to add your own domain here. And now when you go into any website, you can, let's just show you, for example, if we go to another funnel, in settings, you can select your domain here. And if you select the www, it's going to give you a message saying you shouldn't do that. So you want to make sure to use the non-www version here also. You just have to remember to do that. But once you select www, there is going to be a message showing on here that's going to tell you, hey, you should go back and switch it to non-www version. You can have unlimited domains and subdomains here as well. So if you add more domains, exactly the same way we just showed you, and then we have videos on showing you how to add subdomains as well. You can come in here and select different domains, so you can have different domains for different funnels as well. So very simple to do that. And that's it for adding your domain. So that's it, guys. If you go through this video and set up your account, it should take no more than 30 minutes or so. Maybe if it's the very first time you're doing it, it might take a little bit longer, but we walk you through step by step. It's super easy. Once that's done, your domains are all set up. You don't have anything else to do in terms of the domain setup, and now you can just get down to business. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Make sure to like this channel, subscribe, click the like button for this video, and leave your questions or comments below, and we'll be sure to get back to you. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon. Take care.